What's up, solutionaries? Welcome to the Maj 2 Ray Show. Appreciate y'all all. We are talking about these unpopular opinions that nobody will admit. Let's argue every Friday. Thanks for everybody for tapping in. Y'all know the routine. If you're watching on X, let me know where you're watching from, what city. If you're watching on YouTube, put it in the comment section. If you're watching on X, hit the quote post. And let's get it popping. We're going to talk about a lot of this today. And on Fridays, I like to get a little bit more aggressive. I like to talk a little bit more trash because it's the end of most of you guys' work week. And most of you have worked very, very hard to provide. And so on Fridays, we talk about things. If y'all want to argue a little bit harder, we'll put the call-in link in. We communicate a little bit more aggressively, all from a good space of sculpting, because you might just need to blow off some steam. It's the weekend. You're about to spend time with your family. More than likely, most of y'all that work 9 to 5s Monday through Friday. And I don't want you taking that energy onto your family. So we're going to talk about these things today. And as we do every week. Again, guys, if you're coming in, hit the like button. Let me know where you're from, what city you're watching in from, regardless of what platform you're watching on. And again, guys, we talk about this pop culture, politics, sports, entertainment, all of those different things to tie them into solutions. We are solutionaries. We are not these run-of-the-mill, extreme left, extreme right people. That's not who we are. We stand for liberty, and we sharpen our talking points, and we push each other in a positive direction. And we call out the bullshit. A lot of people ain't lately, and that's what tonight's show is going to be about. We're seeing a lot of people doing the same shit that they railed against, and I'm seeing it all across the place. I'm seeing it all across the place, everywhere. Everywhere. And it's the dumbest shit in the world. It's the dumbest in the world. Talk about this tonight. We're going to start in with Mr. Griffin, Steven Crowder jumping back in the seat that he let Charlie Kirk take. And all of a sudden, he want to go stir up the racial tensions, telling black people how they wrong. And I'm tired of this shit. And this is I can see right now, this is about to be a major push as solutionaries to make sure that we calling out the bullshit in a divisive nature, because these dudes, Charlie been dead literally 1 month, literally 30 days. And before the month was out, Steven Crowder's already at schools, going into black barbershops, telling black people how horrible they are. And we're tired of you black people. Then why don't you leave fucking black people alone? Leave them alone. I don't go around arguing, telling white people how they wrong for shit. I would be a leftist if I did that. But we're going to talk about a lot of these people that's walking through contradictions. And it's going to be a call-in tonight, because I contend some of y'all like Steven Crowder. Let me be very clear. I don't like nobody unless I name them. I like a few people. But generally, I don't like most of these fucking pundits. All right? I like solutionaries. I like y'all. Everybody else can kick rocks, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. Because most of the people that are actually attempting to change America for the better, or at least thinking about maybe we should change America for the better, they get fed a steady diet of goofballs on the left and goofballs on the right. They're just making every fucking thing about race. And I'm just fucking tired of it. I'm just tired of it. And I don't mean race from the sense of, hey, there's certain cultural issues that's going on in this community, that community, this community. It's not what happened. But tonight we're going to talk about all of this, and we're going to talk about the contradictions. We got Joe Budden we're going to talk about. And I got some homies that are on the Joe Budden podcast, so might offend my political connects over there tonight. But it's a small show. Nobody's paying attention to us. The early stages of the Maj 2 Ray Show is like the first season of fucking the Chappelle Show. What's up, Bookworm? What we got? Let me give some shout outs real quick. Bookworm, Wild Selt is coming in from Mad Boy back from Michigan. What's up, Mad Boy? What's up, Big Rob? Oh, let me put y'all comments on the stage. From Jersey, Wild Selt over in South Carolina. Our brother Bobby over there in Baltimore. Dwayne, D-Simp from Atlanta. You mean? Peace. What's up, Mo Fly? Hey, if y'all looking for interviews, if any of y'all are trying to go in the interview space, that's my brother Reese. Mofly Productions. That's who y'all need to get with. I haven't been doing media lately. I'll do like a slight podcast here or there. What's up, Lancaster Libertarian? I'll do a slight podcast here or there, but to be honest, y'all, I don't want to be on none of these fucking. If I don't fuck with them, and if it doesn't create an amazing opportunity for us to serve more people, I don't want to do nobody's fucking podcast. I want to talk to y'all. I want to continue to build my production set and continue to build my garden and my home and all that other shit and rumble whatever I'm rumbling with quietly, right? I promise I'll tell y'all once we get through it. But I don't want to really do nobody else's fucking podcast because they all on some stupid shit. They doing the click shit. They doing the same exact thing that all of them motherfuckers swore that they wasn't doing it. And this is a common theme because it's an arc. There's a science to this. There's a science to this. They all swear they not going to sell out. They got sold out by the man. They tried to blackball me. Gilly, we're going to talk about Gilly and them tonight. We're going to talk about Joe Budden. We got smoke for black, white, everything in between because I don't like none of you. I like solutionaries. If you either a solutionary or you wrong. So this clip right here is from Steven Crowder going into a black community. I guess he want to be safer. On one hand, we say, oh, we got to move away from the blacks. Nick Fuentes, and I seen Dave Smith parrot some of that stupid shit too. And he a libertarian. I seen him parrot some of that stupid shit. Oh, I got money and I moved away from the blacks as if just it's the blacks. But then they all dick ride Kanye. But nonetheless, I see the Nick Fuentes and all of those dudes, right? But here go the twist. Here go the bigger twist to everything. On one hand, y'all say, and I'm gonna do black people that talk that shit about white people because both sides are fucking wrong. The problem is most of the people that we listen to don't say that both sides are wrong because they want to act like they righteous on this side and it's always only the other side. Literally today, just now, let me get the picture of it. Let me pull it up. Just now, this Trump DOJ is trying to get short barrel rifles removed. And this, I got it right here. This is Pam Bondi, Trump's DOJ. And significantly, because short barrel rifles combine high destructive power with easy concealability, they are especially susceptible to criminal misuse. This is the Trump administration. So I'm going to call out the Trump, administration on the bullshit. But you know what? The NRA, and maybe not just the NRA, but a lot of people on the right, you know what they're going to do? They're going to be quiet about it. They're going to act like that's not the case. They're going to act like, oh no, Trump is really pro-gun, 4D chess. And that's not what the fuck we on. D says, I would like to see you go back on the Royce White podcast or invite him to your podcast. I'm down. There's people that I want to be clear. No, they're not so wild self. They're not trying to remove him from the NFA. They're not trying to take him off of the NFA item list. They're arguing like low key that them bitches shouldn't be around. While we defending the Trump administration. And I'm not saying that like in a funny way. I'm gonna pull up the actual joint right here. I'm not saying it in a funny way. I'm saying this is more of that bullshit. This is more of that bullshit. AG Pam Bondi's Justice Department inexplicably defends the unconstitutional National Firearms Act in 1934 at the Supreme Court. They're defending the NFA and saying, yeah, SBRs are concealable, so like pistols aren't concealable. Okay? All I'm saying to y'all is tonight we're going to go through all of this shit. We're going to run the gambit. Hip-hop, pop culture, pundits, they ain't solutionary, then they fucking wrong. And we got right here Steven Crowder, who couldn't even let Charlie Kirk's body get cold before he now wants to go back to colleges and start this bullshit again. Going to colleges to argue with goofy teenagers and leftists. Now he steps it up. I'm going to go to talk to the adults in the barbershop because right now America needs debate. And no, we don't. America doesn't need fucking debate right now. America needs solutions. But anyway, let's listen to what he's talking.
Young white people who are getting more and more mad. I'm just telling you the truth.
What they mad?
And they're mad because this thing. Here's why. Here's why. They go, look, I'm 12 times more likely to be killed by a black person than you are a white person. And
that's not true. And it doesn't speak to intraracial crimes. White people kill white people at 81%. 81%. Crime is proximity. See, this is how I know people like this don't shoot a train. Or they pick out certain conversations of the narrative that fits their narrative, and it's good TV. Let's argue back and forth. Then when you go outside and see a black person or a white person, media and told both sides that you know they want you dead, right? You know they want to rob you, right? You know they want to rape your children, right? So he says these types of things. What the fuck does this do? America don't need more debate. America needs solutions. You want to go argue back and forth with debunked material. White people kill white people at 81%. There's this little thing that the per capita crowd, which has already been debunked, 13% of the population, and there's 15% of the bump, which has also been debunked. That crowd ignores the fact that white people kill white people at 81%. Black people kill black people. Most of the time, it's intraracial at 91%. So at a 10% higher rate. But they want to argue about, oh, it's mostly black people are going to kill me. When? Where? Where? Then on the same hand, these people go, oh, the black on black, look at Chicago. What? It's so laughable that when Jussie Smollett tried to say, oh, there happened to be white people around and they put a noose on me, in Chicago, even on the good side of Chicago, they was like, boy, if you don't get the fuck out of here. So at one hand they say, oh, it's not that, it's the black on black crime. Then it's the, I'm more 12 times more likely to be killed by a black man, ignoring the fact that white people kill white people damn near at the same percentages. They are not here for solutions because they're not solutionaries. They're there for clickbait to pretend like only their side is righteous. There's more of us that are in the middle, that are moderate, that are like, that's bullshit. If I was white, right? Well, let's say I'm black, right? I'm black. That's some bullshit and that black dude did. That's some bullshit that white dude did. It's not complicated. It's the same thing as if I happen to be white, that's some bullshit that black dude did. That's some bullshit that white dude did. Individualism. These are people that pretend like they're conservative, but they rush to the collectivist argument all of the time. And I know most of y'all are tired of this shit. Let me, before I play the rest of this little quick video, right? First, guys, support the work. GiveSingo.com/solutionary. Support the work. We need your help. We got 21 days left to hit. Everybody that donates to the $100 level, you get access to Solutionary University, meal plans, macros, workout routine, shooting drills, private community, all of that stuff. All of the classes, curriculums come right to you in video format. Help out. GiveSingo.com/solutionary. Huge shouts to Marcus with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, Marcus. And we had Naturally Armed. If you're in New Jersey and you're looking for firearms instruction in the state of New Jersey, subscribe to Naturally Armed's page. She is a firearms instructor over there in Jersey. Okay? Appreciate y'all. So we got $25. We need 175 more bucks for the super chat. Guys that are donating for the super chat, make sure y'all name a small business. Put their website up there, something. Shout somebody out. Your social media, whatever it is. Let's get 9 more people at the $20 level for the super chats. But anyway, guys, before I play this real quick, right? Finish the rest of this before we move on. This same punditry did something that I thought was so disgusting. And I'm talking about the Matt Walshes, the Steven Crowders, that whole little ilk on the right. They the same as the fucking AOCs on the left. They're extreme. They don't represent most of America, though. They just got his show was called Louder with Crowder. They're just loud, right? The general public that does actual jobs, firefighters, workers, teachers, laborers, all of this other shit. They don't have time to just sit around and talk to people. They're not entrepreneurs. They don't have time to sit around and argue with people in fucking barbershops, okay? But these guys get loud. And a lot of the general public is very susceptible to propaganda. They are. And because they're susceptible to that propaganda, what usually happens is they appear to speak for a lot of Americans. This guy's now saying, I'm just telling you, white people are getting mad. Black, what's that shit called? Black fatigue and all that other stupid shit. When most white people are trying to fucking pay their bills, most white people, black people, and everything in between, the people that your opposition is the fucking government. The Pam Bondi Department of Justice is defending the National Firearms Act. That is a current Republican president. But we talking about, oh, I might be died to a black dude. Shut the fuck up. Is that who killed Charlie Kirk, allegedly? Was there evil black leftists that killed Charlie Kirk? No. The government has told us it's Tyler Robinson. Was it a black dude that tried to kill President Trump? No. The government told us it was another white dude. Stop the bullshit. Just stop. But before I get back to this, a month or so ago, and you haven't even heard her name no more. A month or so ago, the young lady from Ukraine, the Ukrainian lawful refugee, got stabbed on that light rail. Everybody said, oh, we'll never forget. We're going to do this for Irania. They don't even talk about it no more. But you know what these fucking pundits did? They do the same shit. They say one thing, and then they start doing another thing to get notoriety. Then that works. Then they keep doing it. Then they keep pushing the divide. Bookworm just said something very, very important. The government exacerbates all of the issues, but we point the fingers at each other. The government is literally working in tandem with the media. We saw social media included, social media specifically. We saw this during the Mark Zuckerberg trials at fucking Congress. We saw that during the Twitter files. The federal government involving with social media. We literally just saw Benjamin Netanyahu, and now the Jewish mafia is buying TikTok. Larry Ellison and Oracle people and all of that. We just saw Bibi say our most powerful tool is TikTok, and then X. Elon's a friend. He's not our enemy. They're literally governments working with social media to propagate a message that goofballs like this just start repeating for the clicks and the ad revenue. Debunk shit. Let's go back real quick. These guys say these things and they hyped up this Iranian, made it all about race. No, they have no tactical understanding of what condition black is. Sidebar. Everybody watching, do two things. One, repost the space all over the place, wherever you're watching from, especially if you're watching from X. If you're watching from X right now, just hit the quote post or hit a repost. Two, you should definitely take our Understanding Imminent Threat course. It's $20. Worm, if you can't, throw it in the chat. I'll put it on the screen, solutionaryuniversity.org. But anyway, guys, these guys jumped out there and they all made it about race. All of the pages on X, what the Matt Walshes, they made it all about race. Everything was about race. This guy killed this girl just because she was white. And he did say, I got that white girl. I'm mumbling on the way back after he stabbed her. They made it like all of the black people didn't care about this girl. Most of them didn't. It was in the phone zone so much. They thought maybe he hit her. They didn't know what the fuck happened. The video doesn't play the audio. They were on a train, a light rail that makes noise. So you don't know that they don't even hear anything because the girl, you don't even know if the girl yelled. She just jumped like this. They didn't even know that she was stabbed. These pundits made it all about race. These same people that say they don't see race, we're all Americans. They want any type of American, Black American, Indian American, Asian American, Latin American. Get rid of the hyphen. You're only American. We're all Americans. Up until they want to utilize the hyphen to be collectivist for the moment. And they all made this shit about, it was about race. Never mind the fact that the audio's missing. Never mind the fact that most of them people on that train obviously don't train. They didn't know. And then some of them people was in condition black. Then when she started leaking, what happened? Who was the first person to come try to stop the bleed? When that guy went up to the front and then they knew something was wrong, black dude rushes back to try to help. A black dude. None of them fucking pundits said anything. Because they want to keep this race bait going. While they call black people and leftists race baiters. I do think a lot of the people on the left are race baiters. Every white person didn't fucking harm your life, bro. Stop. Miss me with that dumb shit. Miss me. My white homies didn't walk outside one day and they got an extra Bentley to throw me. That's not how this shit go. They don't have an 800 credit score just because. Stop it. Stop. And the reality is most of the pundits won't fucking say this because they want to play the game. They're not interested in using the media for the power that it is to shape the minds in the direction of strengthening the Constitution. Most of them got fucking APAC donors type vibe. So they don't want to say that. They want to pretend like in the beginning that's what they want to say. Then they switch up. Oh, we this, that, and the third. We whoop, whoop, whoop. You say all of that just to switch up and go, yeah, it's the blacks. Meanwhile, the first dude that went to go help Irania Zarutska was a black dude. Then another person that came to try to help was a black dude. So they ignoring the fact that most people didn't even know because they couldn't hear because it's a train, it's a light rail. The video didn't have audio in it. Two, most people that don't train don't know what to do in an imminent threat scenario. If you're watching right now on YouTube, in the chat, there's a link to our Understanding Imminent Threat course. See, that's the difference. If we're addressing something on the Maj 2 ratio, we're going to present a solution for the general public to learn from. These guys just want a fucking fake debate. Mind you, that's not what debate is. Debate has a structure. Are we talking about an Oxford-style debate? We have a time. We have voting systems. We got a clear winner and a clear loser. That's not what these people are doing. They want to argue. I don't care about doing podcasts that just argue all of the fucking time. I don't care. What's the outcome? Are an extra 20,000 people going to be exposed to Understanding Imminent Threat course? I don't care if they all get it for free. Can we do that? Can we expose them to the Constitution, to limiting government? No, you just want to sit down in a spot. You want to sit down in a spot and just argue. Not interested. I might need to be a little quieter. I might need to be a little quieter because I don't want to make sure y'all can hear me. Let me make sure everything's straight. Turn the Bluetooth off. I'm yelling. Let me know in the audio if I'm good in the audio, y'all. Let me know. Put it in the chat in the comment section or something. Let me hop off of everything real quick. All right. My point in saying this to y'all is this. Let me be very clear. These people aren't interested. Not only did they not tell you or cut off the video where the black dude came to help Irania Zarutska, on top of them not telling you, either they don't know or they're not telling you, right? They're not telling you all of these different parts of the video. Soon as somebody calls it out, like I called it out and put content out showing that, then they just be quiet about it. They don't retract it and go, oh, I thought it was this, but it's that. They just throw things out there for everybody to fight about, and they just go live their life. Creating more tension in America, doing the same exact thing that the left does, while complaining about legacy media. They didn't want to change the situation. They didn't want to change the system. They wanted a better position in it to make money off of the chaos. They didn't want to end the chaos. They didn't want to solve the actual problem. The Trump administration right now, AG Pam Bondi, is defending the National Firearms Act right now. This is off of, they took getting suppressors off of the NFA list. They took the pro-gun legislation that was in the big, beautiful bill. They took that out. A Republican showed up, oh, this is the rules of such and such and such. And they took that out. Oh, we had to because it was violating some rule. So they took silent. Now, okay, they gave you a trinket. They said, oh, you don't got to pay the $200. But you still got to register the fucking silencer with the National Firearms Act. The NFA is unconstitutional. It's not in alignment with the standard now, which is the Bruin decision. It shouldn't exist. But this current supposedly Republican, supposedly pro-gun presidency administration, that Pam Bondi right now is defending the National Firearms Act. But we talking about white, black fatigue. We arguing in barbershops about stupid shit. They also didn't tell you about Irania Zarutska's situation. Did y'all know that Little Baby made a whole song about Irania, the rapper, Irania Zarutska, and raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for her family? Did y'all know that? Tell me in the chat. Did y'all know in the chat? Give me some likes. Give me some energy. Let me know. I want to hear from y'all. We do this two-way street on the Maj 2 Ratio. Tell me in the chat. Did y'all know that Little Baby made a song for Irania Zarutska, raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, and gave it to her family? Did y'all know that? Did any of them pundits that made it about race, did any of them tell you that? Did they mention it? Maybe, okay, maybe the initial stabbing was, yeah, got that white girl, because he said it. I'm not absolving him of that. But they hid the fact that black people went to go help. Then they ignored the fact that a black dude, the rapper of the ghetto black culture that they always coming at all of the time, raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for her family. You understand? But they ain't say nothing about that. But they were quick to serve you the bullshit. They were quick to tell you about, I'm 12 times more likely to be killed by a black man than a white man, using the same data and same polls and stats that they say are corrupt. Let's play it again.
You have young white people who are getting more and more mad. I'm just telling you the truth.
What they mad?
Has he evaluated every white person? But whatever.
Yeah, they're mad because this thing. Here's why. Here's why. They go, look, I'm 12 times more likely to be killed by a black person than you are a white person. And you go, well, that doesn't count. They go, look, my dad's business got burned down. Just, even though I'm not, and I'm looking at this right now, and I'm not allowed to have an opinion, and I can't go into certain neighborhoods because I get my ass kicked. And then you just say, yeah, but you've had systemic power. That is a surefire way to breed racism. Yeah.
This is the most. Come on, bro. Give me honestly. I want to be very, very honest. I want y'all to be super honest in the chat. No judgment. I want y'all to be brutally honest in the chat. If you a white solutionary, if you one of my white followers, right? One of my white subscribers, make sure everybody subscribe to all of the channels too. YouTube.com/Maj2Ray, Rumble.com @Maj2Ray, X is @Maj2Ray999. If you one of my white followers, right? Do you honestly feel like if you go into a black community, the black people are just going to attack you? Do you really feel like that? What's up, Marcus from Oklahoma? Y'all give me some energy. Let me know. New folks, let me know where you at. Tell me in the chat. What city you from? Then they just victim shit, but you got your Second Amendment right. Shoot the mother. Shoot them. Shoot them. Somebody tries to attack you of any race in any city, shoot them. That's it. That's it. We have a Second Amendment. Stop. But let me hear from you guys. Do you feel like, as a white solutionary, because I know as a black dude, I go anywhere and I don't feel like I'm going to go into a white. That's some shit leftists say, oh man, you better not be there in that sundown town in 2025. Stop. I go wherever I want to go. Anybody that knows me, I promise you, the biggest thing my wife is going to have to deal with is I got to make sure he just don't be doing whatever he want. Not, I don't know if we could go over there because it's a sundown. That's some bullshit. And if you white, and if you bought into that victim bullshit that he's selling, I'm sorry, but maybe I'm wrong. I have not had the white experience in America. Yes, I have. I'll be doing whatever the fuck. I'm sorry, y'all. I be having a free being experience out this joint. I'm like Blade, the Daywalker. I just be doing all of the stuff that they say, oh, only those vampires can do. And I'll be outside doing it, looking cool with shades on and shit. I'm like Blade. I'm literally Blade, right? So I have had that experience. I don't be like, oh, I can't go there because it's a lot of white people. I would have never went to CPAC. I would have never went to hockey games. D with the second $20 super chat. Appreciate you for that, D. Hey, y'all, we need 8 more $20 super chats. I want everybody to do me a huge favor. Please come up with a small business or something. Type a caption. Type something in there. Small business. Give your own social media shout out. Are you scared to go into black neighborhoods or sundown towns? Call in. I want to hear from you people. It's racist. I want to hear from you people. Right? Boom. Wild Celt says, I've done plenty of electrical work in black neighborhoods. Never seen anyone even look at me sideways. On one hand, these types of guys, not Wild Celt. Thanks for that comment, Celt. The Steven Crowders go, well, on one hand, the marketing says black people feel inferior to white people. Right? That's one narrative that the left pushes. But then the right goes, the punditry class, the extreme left and right on the punditry class. They say, oh man, if I can't speak on this, can't go into a black neighborhood because I'm gonna get jumped. Then they take goofy teenage videos and push that all over the internet and act like that's the example for all of the middle part of America. So they, ironically, white so-called conservative podcasters like this are making all white people the same. They're saying white people and black people are all fucking victims and have a monolithic collectivist mindset because they have a collectivist mindset. I've had good experiences around dope people. I've had bad experiences around lame people. That is everybody's fucking reality. In reality, don't let these media goofballs trick you out of your spot. I'm telling you this, how many of the young white guys are upset. What? No, they're not. They're like, yo, we don't like being told on X and social media what we can say. But if you're upset that you don't get to use a racial slur at somebody, imagine me being mad that I can't say the C word to my white homies. Imagine me that's my fight. My fight is I want to be able to say the C word to my white homies. And if they can say it, my Spanish homies can say the S word. Imagine if that's my struggle. Mein Kampf, my struggle. Right? Imagine that's my struggle. I'm fighting to be able to hurl racial slurs at people. Not fighting to stop overturn or repeal the NFA. Not to overturn or repeal the Gun Control Act of America. Not to inform and empower and unify all Americans against overreaching government. Never mind the fact that as the ceasefire happens in Hamas in Palestine and between, Israel and them, never mind the fact that Trump just sent troops over there for the ceasefire. So now we are actively sending troops to Palestine and sending troops to Chicago and Portland and wada-da-da-da-da-da. But meanwhile, we're not talking about that. We're in fucking barbershops doing the exact opposite of what we said. We're all Americans. These people are fucking paranoid schizophrenic. They say one thing in a moment and then they switch up as if we don't got the internet to show us that you just said this. Are we all Americans or are we not? Oh, we only Americans when convenient. Somebody in the chat, tell me. Do you genuinely feel like one person did say something. Do you genuinely feel, if you happen to be a white solutionary, do you genuinely feel like, yeah, man, I'm going to get jumped by these black dudes and you're an adult? Like adults. I'm not talking about teenage goofballs and all of that. It's just wild. It's just wild, man. But let's move on a little bit. That was Steven Crowder with his contradictions. Let's look at some more contradictions, not from Steven Crowder, though. And let's go to this. And I'm going to tie all of this in together, right? Let's go, Bill. No, I got on one of our white American friends. Let's get on a black American real quick. Let's go to Cam Newton real quick. And y'all going to get mad at me at this one.
Whatever the situation is. So I don't want to talk about that.
This is why tonight's topic, we already smashed out and stomped out Steven Crowder. Now let's go to the blacks. Let's go to the blacks. We already did the whites. Let's go to the blacks. Similar in the regard that People say one thing and do the exact opposite. This is Cam Newton. Man, all talking about respecting women and this, that, and the third, and whoop-de whoop, whoop, whoop. And he's sitting down with Young Berg, hitmaker. Has made a lot of beats. He was a rapper too, all of this other stuff, right? And they're talking about this. Listen to this, y'all.
Say less. But why not?
So what?
You know people gonna be like,
I don't care. They gonna dig. They say.
Let me give you all a backdrop. He's asking Young Berg which women he slept with in the industry.
Tierra Marie.
That ain't really nothing. That's really my dog. Everybody gonna say like fucking whatever the situation is.
Bro, you too real. I mean, we've been having this honest dialogue, and then all of a sudden, when we start putting them feet to that hot
nothing.
cold.
It ain't really feet to hot cold. Like it was just really more so a situation to where like she was.
I gotta stop. This shit is disgusting. Y'all get the point. Cam Newton's supposed to be this man's man. He came in the game as the football dude, right and exact. Carolina Panthers, this, that, and the third, whoop-de, whoop, whoop, whoop. You get into the podcast space, and this is where I got my beef with all of these podcast motherfuckers. Podcasters, this. Steven Crowder talks all of this America shit. America first shit, America that. Couldn't wait to jump back and divide Americans. Rush to the black community to figure out how he could do the opposite of actual patriotism. And now when we go on the podcast circuit, we got a 6'3" athlete, trained. Congrats to him today. He just had his 9th child, literally, with his new chick, right? Just had his 9th child. And all this masculine, and we got to be men, and we got to do this, and all of the football energy, all of the discipline, and da-da-da-da. And you sitting on your podcast right now gossiping about what dude slept with another chick. If that ain't the most chatty patty, I understand why they so scared of Dame Dash. I understand. And I think that Dame Dash was right about a lot of things and influential in pop culture tremendously. I think that Dame Dash could have adapted a little bit, but I ain't mad at Dame Dash. He's who he is without $100 million or with $100 million. But these chatty patties, they all get behind these microphones. And I want to make a promise to y'all right now. First, I already told y'all my sellout number. And I told y'all what's going to identify that I done sold out. We ain't going to do this like I would never sell out. Yes, I will. The only thing I won't do is like killing the people that I care about or the gay thing. But if it's, Maj, take this $800 million and shut the hell up. When you see me with 2 Bentleys, Bentley Continental GT, white and black, same car, stop listening to me. Okay? And most people, as the fame continues to rise, most people won't even know that. I've said it for years. That's my sellout number. If the government is stupid enough to give me $800 million in fiat or $400 or $500 in Bitcoin, I'm out. Y'all ain't even gonna fucking hear from me no more. But if you see me with the black and white Continental GT, the Bitcoin exchange, the wallet is heavy. So, but outside of that, I want to make y'all a promise right now. I'm never going to do this sucker shit. Because everybody on these podcasts are wrong. They're wrong. They don't want to maintain a principle because they get a donor. Charlie Kirk was wrong. Okay, I get it. He was changing his idea on Israel. The Israeli government been doing what the Israeli government has been doing since Israel was created. That's just what it is. So you was cool with taking donors up until a point. Then they started doing, damn, they really ethnic cleansing over this joint. Now it's, so you were wrong. You were wrong. But you were enjoying your run till somebody killed you. This is the same thing with these podcasters. They just didn't raise $75 million. They pussy. They need to end the war on masculinity. That's all. That's all. They don't have as much, but they got a nice little set. They get to be in front of a whole bunch of people. They'll play the game right. Make sure you get them clicks and them views up because we're going to give you a salary or a stipend or we're going to sponsor you because of the views because we're going to get a lot more on the ad revenue. They selling themselves out just the same. And in most instances, it's from the same group of people. And as you go up the food chain, there's investments happening. It just the money just shifted from the hip hop industry to podcasts. Now everybody got a podcast, and most of them are fucking wrong and weak. They start out solid, and they have a service. You start out as Cam got a camp. You're talking about discipline, this, but yet and still, your camp goers will see you gossiping with a man about what women he slept with. What part of the fucking game is that? What part of the game is that? Then they want to act like, oh no, we don't know if we can have Maj 2. I bet you can't. I don't want to talk to none of you pussies. I feel disgusted being around people. I remember one time, I won't say his name. I will say his name. His name, Tyler. I ain't going to say his last name. He's in the pro-gun space, right? And he does a lot of fundraising and stuff like that on a political tip. He's hobnobbed in D.C. and everything. And he got drunk at one event. And we had an Asian server. I don't know what part of Asia. It wasn't like Indian, because India is a part of Asia, right? It was like the Orient, right? He was Oriental of some kind. And in the process of him doing that, right, he was like serving and da-da-da. And when the dude walked away, he did like the chong 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 type of thing. And he was drunk, and a drunk mind speak a sober tongue. I'm not a fan of that shit, bro. I know a lot of hard-working fucking Asians. And I don't want nobody to feel lesser than because of their fucking heritage. I'm not a fucking fan of that. So if you think I'm going to make fun of the Asian dude because I'm not Asian, who's to say to me that when you were with your Italian friends, you don't call me a fucking moolie? I'm not cool with that. But I stand on that across the board, though. And that's more difficult. That's why these people struggle with maintaining a fucking consistent position. That's why so many of these people get into the entertainment industry and hoeing themselves out. They don't want to take the lesser traveled road. Ironically, the people that take the lesser traveled road actually become more powerful. When you have somebody that don't bend and didn't get a record deal, they fucking turn into Jay-Z, meaning power, influence, and resource-wise. They turn into a Rihanna. I'm not making a fucking album. I connected with something and I'm selling makeup and lingerie that rivals fucking Victoria's Secret. Business. Then when you're thinking from a business perspective, not selling yourself to, oh, I got to get the clicks. When you're thinking from a business perspective, you want to sell to everybody. Now, I'm not saying be disingenuous, but I am saying that these people start one way and recognize business and go, I can escape that matrix of somebody pimping me, a donor, a sponsor, an advertiser telling me, yo, you got to say this and you can't say that. But these dudes say that until they get in a certain position, then they get right to tap dancing. And the tap dancing could be doing it, and it's always doing the exact opposite of what they said. It's always that. It's always that. But what they do to switch up is the thing that you got to be watch and be vigilant. You got to go, oh, you was a strong football playing dude talking about character and discipline and teamwork and this, that, and the third. But you gossiping about the sexual exploits of another man for the whole world to see. We ain't talking about locker room shit that stay in the locker room. You know that culture. You a fucking locker room king. But we ain't talking about that. Let's bring it to the podcast. Let's continue, though. Let's continue. Let's pull up some more. Let's pull up some more of this shit. We got Gilly the Kid, Philadelphia. Here's the backstory. Gilly got through and was blackballed, allegedly blackballed by Jay-Z. Y'all can go Google it. He's talked about it on Club Shay Shay, wearing them big ass, dumb ass hats. That's another thing that they do. They go straight to fucking cooning, tap dancing. Azabiza playing all the fucking time. It ain't time to play out here. Enjoy life. Be joyous. Don't be a fucking clown. Nonetheless, he was on the Club Shay Shay and said Jay-Z blackballed him and this, that. And they get a second line in podcasting. And he sits down with Joey Badass right here. And he talks about, yo, if somebody else, a young bull coming up, I can't let him get my spot.
Hoping to get to the league. You feel what I'm saying? Now, when they get there, they trying to hold on to that shit as long as possible. Because after my dream is done, I also feed my family off this shit. LeBron James in his 23rd year. He ain't not once said this the new king. That trying to go out there and work out. Now, I'm not saying that you can't uplift some young, help some young get in position, but the reality of it is, ain't no trying to put no other in a position to take his job.
Let me tell y'all something.
He says this, and Joey Badass gives him a perfect example. And I don't know whose page this is, whose video this is, so it's a little bit longer than what it says. But Joey Badass goes say, "Nah, it's enough money for all out here."
Just because you shine a light on somebody, everybody who's doing
just about continue to keep the culture alive, continue
and subscribe. Let's get into it.
I feel like I'm connected to both sides, so I'm gonna just do my part, man. You know what I mean, and try to continue to keep the culture alive, continue to keep the spirit alive and everything. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm gonna do that by, of course, putting the pop world that I exist in is a sport, man, and I love.
Saying, or LeBron James, he was a young player that was uplift some young, help some young get in position. But the reality of it is, ain't no trying to put no other in a position to take his job.
I just feel like if you really believe that you that, then that shouldn't stop you.
But if
you hear the stuttering? Joey Badass says, if you really that, none of that should stop you. If you that dude, none of that should stop you. Gilly understands this. He got blackballed because he wouldn't sign a deal when he was with Major Figures. A lot of y'all don't even know. He was in a Philadelphia group years ago called Major Figures. Jay-Z wanted to sign them to Rockefeller. Jay-Z stays in Philadelphia getting people from Philly. State property was all Philly, right? Nonetheless, he gets in there and he says, nah, we can't do the deal. Allegedly, Jay-Z told him, all right, cool, we're going to make it hard for you. And then he got blackballed while he had hit songs early on in his career. He falls for a little bit, do some mixtapes, switch over to the Instagram social media thing, starts a podcast, $1 million worth of game, gets back on, secures a deal with Barstool Sports. Now that he's in this position, after recognizing and saying all of these fake niggas trying to blah, 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 they block ball and they da-da-da-da, he gets on the same podcast and advocates to Joey Badass, yeah, you got to try to make sure that can't nobody else get on because ain't nobody really trying to put nobody. No, that's how you think. Then when Joey Badass says, I just feel like if you really that bull, it won't matter who show up. Then he tried to course correct him. Oh, no. I mean, I just feel like.
If I'm an OG, right, and we all work different, and I see that young is that. I know that he's more in tune with the culture right now. Everything around the board. He young, he got me beat everywhere around the board. That young gotta come take my job. I can't put that young in position to get me out the way, and now I'm running around, can't feed my family. I
think it's too much money out here for all of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's only a certain amount of positions that's right there.
Now you're right.
What I'm saying.
You're right.
You feel what I'm saying?
You're right though. But at the same time, it's like, when are we going to shift from the individual mindset to the collective one?
When are we going to shift from the individual mindset to the collective? Now, let me be very clear. I'm not talking about collectivist Marxism, socialism bullshit. That's not what I'm talking about. And I don't think that's what Joey Badass talking about. If we all eat, we all eat, and there's less wolves trying to eat off or take our plate. You were in a position, and I'm telling y'all, for the last 8 years, I've been in rooms, quietly in rooms. This is the same reason why Rockefeller, it's another reason why Dame Dash is so upset, because Leor Cohen got in Jay-Z's ear and cut out Dame and cut out Biggs. They had an empire. And Leor allegedly, I wasn't there, Convince Jay that you ain't got to do the splits with them. We'll give you your masters. We give you this. After it was Rock La Familia for how long? This is the same reason that Beanie Siegel had an issue. All of them people. Why? Because I got to be the one type of situation. Now, don't get me wrong. Jay-Z is one of my favorite artists of all time. Lyrically, he made certain business moves. He figured out a way to maneuver in each situation. I'm not mad at that. But if Gilly the Kid understands that that type of corporate cutthroat mentality got him so-called blackballed, and now you're arguing to Joey Badass, who's definitely on his come up. He on 50 Cent show. He rap his ass off. He in the entertainment industry. You now saying, trying to project in his mind the exact opposite of what you were screaming this whole fucking time. And all of these podcast people do it because they're not solutionaries. And if you're not solutionary, you wrong. Right, left. These guys ain't on the right, because I know some of y'all act like I just be beating up on the conservatives all the time. I'm politically on the right. I'm a libertarian. We supposed to be on this side of the aisle. We supposed to be the people that's going, no. I thought it was only the crazies on the left. No. Steven Crowder just did it, rushing to attack black people. Oh, we all Americans. Why can't we all be Americans? Because every 2 minutes you reminded me that I'm the 13%, that's the 50% of the crime, and other stupid-ass debunked stats. Then you don't apply that same stat to other criminal areas as it relates to white males. Then when black people say, cool, we want just black-only spaces, then, oh, you guys are racist. Which one the fuck is it? Are we Americans? Are you afraid to be around us? And if so, when those black people go, nah, I'm over here. Oh, that's racist. Which one is it? The reason why these pundits are so contradictory is because they just say shit like politicians are fucking hoes. Moment to moment. Just in front of whoever they're in front of. That they think they're going to agree with them. Until you got a principled person like Joey Badass that says, nah, I just think it's enough money for everybody out here. Nah, if you that bull, it don't matter. You that bull. It shouldn't matter. But we don't want to acknowledge that. Why don't we want to fucking acknowledge it? Because everybody wants to just pick a side, and it's more difficult being principled. Us, y'all, watching, we are more principled. We are solutionaries. We are more nuanced. We are more holistic. We are in shape. We watch our diet. We exercise discipline. We dry practice. We shoot. We spend time with family. We study. We read. We improve. We call the bullshit on both sides. That's what America needs. America don't need more podcasts and debates. America needs solutions. We have to be solutionaries, and we have to be force multipliers. Let's go back to one of the whites. One of my favorite comedians. We talked about him just a little bit briefly earlier in the week. Bill Burr. They did a bit. I don't know if this is old or new. Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins is like allegedly his stepbrother. I just found out about this a couple of days ago. It was this weird story where his dad was a musician, meaning Bill Burr's dad, who's passed now, and all of this other shit. It's wild. But anyway, Bill Burr, one of my favorite comedians, especially his earlier work. I think he went woke now. And I think it's because of his he let his wife just control him. I think he has a handler. I think his wife is his handler. That's what I think. I think Charlie Kirk's wife showed up and was planted there. That's his handler. Shit, my wife might be a plant. Who knows? You know what I mean? You never know. You never know out here. They might try to plant me with one. But Bill Burr, I think, has made classic I'm going to live in my existence stand-up. And he said all of this shit a while ago about Beyonce. Let's play that first. Let's go to that first. Then you got Beyonce, right? Miss Independent, Miss I'm a Strong Woman, empowering all the ladies out there. She's out there singing about girl power, telling you to put a ring on and all of that crap, you know? And then what'd she do? She takes $1 million to go sing at some private party for Gaddafi's kid. Muammar Gaddafi. You know, the guy who's been blowing stuff up and running a dictatorship forever. Like, what the hell? Sidebar. That was cat. Did you guys know that the United States government, when Hillary Clinton was in the administration under President Obama, They went over there and killed Muammar Gaddafi because he was trying to organize the resources of Libya and African nations. Gaddafi was doing what BRICS is doing now: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Did you guys also know that Palestine has just been, China's trying to get Palestine into BRICS? Did y'all know that? But anyway, so he's wrong about Gaddafi. He believed the media hype about Gaddafi. He said this was a while ago. You're going to go jet to St. Bart's, shake your ass for some terrorist dictator's family, pocket $1 million, and then go back to preaching about empowerment? Come on, man. That's the hypocrisy of this whole thing. These celebrities, they'll take any gig if the check's big enough. It's like, oh, I'm all about the people, until some crazy dictator waves a stack of cash, and then it's, where's my private jet? It's ridiculous. Same dude goes to the Riyadh Comedy Festival, gets 1.5, complete fucking opposite. Then he doubles down. When people calling him out on it, like, what the fuck, Bill? You going over to Qatar to do the Riyadh thing, and what the fuck, and this, that, and third, and blah, 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 blah. What about this, Bill? You're making enough money from movies, acting. You got cartoon shows. You and fucking The Mandalorian? What's going on, Bill? You got some money. You got a daughter now. You got a wife. You got everything. What's going on? Then instead of just own it and just, Bill Burr slams Riyadh Comedy Festival flashback. I don't give a fuck what all these phony fucking people are saying. I really don't give a fuck. And if it affects my career, I've been to LAX enough in my life. I'll fucking sit home for a little bit. I will actually tell you LAX is slightly sadder than Saudi Arabia. So now he's praising Saudi Arabia, and they do got some dictatorships going on over there. The general consensus is, how dare you go to that place and make these oppressed people laugh? You fucking piece. I can't believe you went to that place. I can't find it on the map. And Bot said I was upset, so now I am. This is a classic move that they make. When you call out on their bullshit, now it's you the problem instead of the contradictions that they made. It's all of these people. Because they not solutionary. And if you're not solutionary, you're what? Wrong. Not being able to own where you were contradictory and say, I can see how that was a contradiction. I learned more about Gaddafi when I made that statement. Come to find out, the U.S. government actually got him killed. Hillary. And on top of that, I was younger. It was 1.5, and I 1,000% see how it could be contradictory, but I did it. And I learned some things about Saudi Arabia that media told me, because maybe, just maybe, the central banks want us to go to war with Iran, Iraq, and they want to keep forever wars in the Middle East. So I went over there to see, and I learned a lot, but I could see how it could be contradictory. Nobody argues against that. But what do? When they're fucking wrong because they're super contradictory, they come in one way and they switch because they get afraid and they get corporate. And they're now afraid, so they want to see again. The first season of the Chappelle Show, it was classic. Do you know why it was classic? Because they were doing a show like nobody was watching. Comedy Central was a small network. The way that we do the shows now, where we engage y'all and we talk, and we don't pull no punches. That's the way that this show, as we continue to grow, is going to be the same exact way. I actually don't want no fucking advertisers. This is why I keep telling y'all to support the work. Is it harder that way? Absolutely. But do we remain free that way? Absolutely. And if we do this long enough and we get enough subscribers, we get enough support, we can stay free and we can be Freedom Jay-Z type vibe. We can create our own island with $1 billion and go, we free over here. We don't need to counter our talking points or adjust them for what the sponsor said we need to do. That's because the people actually buy in. Now, this is where the people got to recognize their own contradiction. You don't support the people that keep it real, which makes it easier for Bill Burr now to be Bill Burr now. If you got something to say, you want to talk about it, call in, hit the stream, send a chat. If you watch it on X, jump over to YouTube, hit the link. The link is on the screen now. What makes it, I understand why people sell out, or what we call sell out. Some of it's not really selling out. Some of it is people have they grow and they have a different worldview. I was a vegetarian for 10 years. All right. So you have a different worldview. those people can usually communicate effectively how they made the transition from A to B. Those people can do that. They say, hey, this is the reason why come to find out, I wasn't actually eating as healthy as I should have been when I was a vegetarian, because I didn't know about macros. I didn't know about how many vitamins, minerals, nutrients, fats, carbs, protein. I didn't know how to do that, so I was super skinny. Then I started learning more and found out about different protein sources. Now, I'm not saying you should OD on meat, but I do think you can also get with some lentils. You can get protein from here, fruits and vegetables to flush your system out. But steak, chicken, and beef are high protein sources. I can communicate that. Not just, don't be mad at me because I'm eating meat now just because your ass broke and you can't get grass-fed, organically grown beef. You fucking loser. See, that's what these people do. That's what they do. That's what fucking Bill Burr is doing right here. Let's read some more. I can't find it on the map. This is him making fun of you. And this bot said I was upset about it, so now I am. It's one thing to wear clothes made by sweatshop labor. It's quite another to go to the factory and make them laugh. I can't believe how much anger I had about this issue after it went viral. It was necessary. It felt right afterwards. I vibed with them and they were funny. Fuck, they were funny fucking people. I don't know what to tell you. I had a good time. Yeah, you don't know what to tell people. Because you don't want to own your contradiction in an intelligent adult fucking way. All of these people with these fucking microphones, I don't know what happens. Maybe I haven't got enough of a bag from it to be like, I'm scared to lose this. Because that's what I think happens. As much as they talk about hating cancel culture and hating the system and hating X, Y, and Z, they all fucking do it. They all fucking do it. They all fucking do it. And when I see it, and this is another example of a motherfucker doing it.
And he alleges that he was trying to, but the guy.
And let me be give a disclaimer. I know Mark Lamont Hill. I frequent his bookstore in Philly often. I know Queen's Flip. That's my homie. I've done his show multiple times. So this ain't an attack on them or any of the individuals. But the Joe Budden podcast is the same exact thing. Same exact thing. The politicians, the pundits, and the podcasters, 3 Ps, they all do the same sucker shit. They get blackballed. Joe Budden was also somewhat blackballed by Jay-Z. They get blackballed. They get another, they catch early, they reinvent themselves, and that's great. They get in the podcast space and they start doing the same exact corporate shit. Now, let me explain what the corporate shit is before I go to Joe Budden. And again, guys, if you're watching, hit the like button, repost, support the work. We can't be talking about this shit, keeping Maj independent so he can tell it like it is and present solutions, and then we don't support. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. If you want to call in, the link is there. But let me go to this real quick. Here's what usually happens in a corporatocracy. There is a great book that y'all should read by Ray Dalio called Principles. Ray Dalio is like the world's largest hedge fund creator, right? It's called Bridgewater Capital. You should definitely know about Ray Dalio, and you should definitely look into that book, okay? Ray Dalio talks about the principles of things doing this. Like, you suck at something, you get better at it, you feel nervous, you get really, really great at it, you get bored with it, you off of it, or you lose, and you start going down. Then you find the interest in something else, and you go up and up and up, and that spiral is what happens as you continue. But when you're in the spiral, when you've fallen, you feel like it's the worst, because you might make $1 million after making $30,000 a year. You make the million, you lose a whole million, you left with $50,000. That seems like it's the end of the world, but you started with $30,000. And you now have all of these experiences, and then you build that into your next thing. Saying this to say, that's what usually happens with companies. They start out creative anything. They start out innovative. They start out based on something that the world needs. They start out recognizing a problem. Man, we getting blackballed in the music industry. I just want to say my truth. Then you sit in front of a fucking microphone and you say your truth. And then more people agree with you. And as more people agree with you, you get a bigger following. Then you sell a product and this. Then somebody comes and goes, hey, let's sponsor. We want to sponsor your show for this. We want to be a donor. We want to whatever. And the sponsors and the donors start now dictating what you're going to fucking say. And that happens in the record industry. And then the politics. That's even before you get to the politics. The politics happen. And the politics isolate certain people. Jay-Z takes over and is president of Def Jam. And he runs it like a corporate situation to learn the situation, to get the bag for himself, and fuck them artists. That's how he played it. Joe Budden was on Def Jam at the time. Now, when that happens, you start talking about the fucking industry and you start telling it like it is. You Joe Budden, you tell it like it is. People tap in because they want to hear. When Maj is on the Maj 2 Ray show every night, we want to hear him give a solutionary perspective. When we tap into the Joe Budden podcast, we want to hear him and his homies, Rory and Mal at the time. We want to hear them talk about all of this fly shit with no filter because they just dudes sitting in the microphone and talking that shit. People agree with it. They get large. Then somebody comes and sponsors. Now, all of the time, he can't talk about certain shit. That's his man. They whole crew talk. When you watch the podcast, they kind of talk like it's a secret. Oh, it's a well, you know, we talked off camera. You know what I mean? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it off camera. Like you're trying to do this exclusive shit. It's not exclusive. People come to you to hear you tell your truth on an issue. But in instances like this,
I don't want to say his name. He's a athlete himself, and he alleges that he was trying to fuck him. He got a whole story about it, and the story don't even sound like bullshit. I'm not saying I believe it or anything, but
well, can you say allegedly?
Allegedly,
you don't know if this is
can you say allegedly? Even though she didn't name his name, now he's super fucking corporate. All of these, you was so tough. You was Jersey City. You was this. Now you got your sandals on, and I'm not knocking elevation, evolution, and growth. But now you scared to just talk. I'm not talking about speaking well and robustly. When I'm critical of the Israeli government, I'm not being critical of all of people that participate in the Jewish faith. That's an easy sentence. That's an easy sentence. I'm a solutionary, though. That's not fear-based. That's me going, hey, I want to be a good human. And I want to, if you misconstrue me, that's the fuck on you. I'm not deliberately trying to be offensive to anyone because I'm a good human. I literally got sandals on right now. I bullshit y'all not. I ain't tripping about sandals. And they colorful. I got on slides right now. We ain't tripping about that. We talking about the fear or the blackout. I don't want to talk to this person. When the Christian rapper, I know D1, circle of Joe, but yo, stop talking about him on my platform. Talking about him. He's just some Christian corny nigga as a side. That's what Jay-Z viewed you as. Some want to battle rap for the artistry, for hip hop culture. Now you get in the position, you do the exact opposite. It's something that's happening with these motherfuckers in these microphones. That's why I don't got a microphone. I just talk. Let me be clear. It's not just talk. I talk about what I already did, and I communicate y'all about solutions that I've seen and applied. And I see right now what's happening with all of these dudes. Now you become corporate. Going back to the Ray Dalio conversation, right? This is what corporations do. Google becomes innovative. They start something, they present a problem, they see a problem. They get rich off of it because they present a thing called Google. And that is based on the term Googleplex. A Googleplex is an infinite and unending load of numbers and information and stuff. That's where Google comes from. And it's like, oh man, it's a search engine. This is dope. And you start being innovative. But then you start doing the same cutthroat corporate shit that all of those companies in front of you did. This happened with Standard Oil and the Rockefeller family. Started cutting people out, doing it's not enough to just make oil and get it cheap and get it to people. We got to try to kill the competition. Not killing the competition because of innovation, like you were initially innovative. Podcast spoke to the corporate structure being bullshit, this, that, and the third. You spoke to Americans hyphenating themselves and not being fully Americans, and then you switch when convenient. You spoke to Yeah, man, that record label and Jay-Z blocked me. And now you do the same exact shit. Why? Microsoft did it. Microsoft and Bill Gates was innovative. And then they started going, we only shipping our thing. You gotta have this on your computer. They started practicing monopolistic tendencies. Same thing the company before them, Bell Atlantic, which was a landline telephone company. Y'all don't even know who the fuck that was, right? They get large because they're presenting a service about phones, right? Landlines. And then they start doing monopolistic shit, trying to edge the competition out, not by being innovative, by doing cutthroat bullshit. And all doing a 180 from what they initially were fucking there for. And I'm telling y'all, it's the vast majority of these fucking podcasters, pundits, and politicians. Why? Because they're not solutionary. And if you're not a solutionary, you are wrong. You're wrong. Let's see if I'm tripping.
Again for me.
Allegedly. So when the guy's telling a story about the athlete, JT shares that post, so she put in a diss to go together, like she was, getting them ready for it.
First off, please, this is another one of those Spider-Man memes.
It is, but it ain't though.
Yeah. That's my. Go ahead, Freeze.
Ain't nobody make no accusation on dude, did they? I'm just saying.
Oh, who dude? Her dude?
Yeah.
I mean, what's it called? Say,
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Look at this. They can't even say names. You can't even mention a person. First of all of these shows is gossip. All of these shows is gossip. I don't want to be on none of you motherfuckers' show. Unless we're talking about something that we can tie it back into something productive. As we're talking about these conversations, nobody's talking about the current Trump administration that's supposed to be Republican, that's supposed to be Second Amendment, defending the National Firearms Act. We're not talking about that. Pundits on the right not talking about that. Okay? The left that's supposed to be anti-war, nobody's talking about the fact that now Trump is sending troops over to Palestine for the ceasefire. If you can't talk about the topic, don't bring it up. And they bringing it up to pretend this exclusive shit. We exclusive up here. I don't want to talk to them niggas. Blah, blah, blah. You the same person that rallied against the system. Y'all the same people that say we all American. You the same people that say, oh, the black on black crime is crazy. But then all of a sudden when convenient, I'm 12 more times likely to be killed by a black person. You want to conveniently say the bullshit. You don't want to bring up intra-racial crime. Then you completely ignore the crazy shit that some white dudes are happen to do because it doesn't fit your divisive 180 contradictory narrative, and they all fucking do it. Pussies. And I'm not disrespecting them as humans. I'm saying that's pussy move, pussy energy. Soft. We have to draw the fucking line. We have to be it. This is why you guys have to be solutionaries. This is why I'm telling everybody watching this should be in Solutionary University. You should be studying. I got this way because of, tell y'all a quick story, then we'll wrap up. I got this way because in traveling the country a million bajillion times over the last 8 years, one, I started to see everybody's fighting the same thing. Everything that happens and is being said via media by pundits or, Fox, CNN, whatever, when you go outside, you see it's a lot of bullshit in what they're saying. Remember when media was saying COVID, everything's fucked up, everybody's trash, everybody's dying, we need personal protective equipment, and you went outside and there was none of this shit. Remember they told you it was overflowing bodies at the hospitals, and you went to the hospital, it was quiet as shit. Then like a month later, the nurses was doing TikTok dances because they were so fucking bored in there. And they used the fucking fake COVID, the flu, to convince everybody to do mail-in ballots so they could steal an election. Conveniently, everybody doesn't talk about that no more. Remember, let's fast forward a bit. Remember how they was like, yo, Fauci, all the Republicans was like, Fauci's the worst. Fauci needs to be arrested. Has fucking Fauci been arrested? Absolutely the fuck not. Remember when Trump was like, Hillary, if I was in charge, you'd be in jail? Has Hillary been indicted or arrested? Fuck no, it hasn't. So you recognize that all of these people is just saying shit in the moment. You're just saying shit. You don't mean that shit. You're just saying it. As a solutionary and traveling around the country and seeing how much contradictory shit was happening, what was really happening in the world and what both sides, their punditry was saying, started to make me recognize, oh, okay. The pundits are bullshit. The pundits are saying things with a little bit of truth, but you kind of like the person because they calling out the contradictions on the other side, but you don't really fully resonate with them. I get most of y'all white people that watch Nick Fuentes. You don't like that he called black people nigga and this, that. You don't like that. First of all, he's Mexican. His last name is fucking Fuentes. Literally, I think it means fresh. Nick Fresh. Nonetheless, he talks about the Israeli government and he's cracking exact on that. That's right. But why is it impossible to talk about the Israeli government doing the wrong shit without trying to throw every other ethnic group under the bus at the same time? Most white people not cool with that. Some of you are, because you fucking bigoted too. But most people are like, I could take it or leave it. I feel them on this, but that other shit, I could do without it. Same thing. I know Dr. Umar. His number's in my phone. I disagree with a lot of the shit that Umar does. I don't disagree with the fact that systemic racism has been an issue at certain points in America. Gun control is one of it. See, I just went, here's a real systemic racism thing. Not because some dude wore a red hat. I went, gun control was a system before America, and it systemically stopped black people from arming themselves while contradicting the Second Amendment, the supreme law of the land. I explain it. I can explain that without saying all of the white people are racist. This is how I became more well-versed in it, by studying civics, by communicating, by sharpening the sword with other soldiers, by getting in the gym, by looking at all of these different communities that, oh, I thought this gym community was just a bunch of arrogant, dumb meatheads. These motherfuckers are scientists talking about peptides and fucking, these dudes is geeks. No, man, you got to make sure that your grams, you got to make scientists, mechanics, and jocks all wrapped up in one. Oh, I thought it was all they hate the rock and roll motherfuckers hate. Yo, man, come on, good squat, man, awesome. Second Amendment community. I thought they was all. So when traveling around and seeing that, I'm going, oh, it's somebody putting salt in the game. It's the media in conjunction with the government telling the black people one story, telling the white people one story, and everybody in between, telling them different stories. You know it's the whites, right? You know it's the blacks, right? Meanwhile, it's the government the whole time. So I'm telling y'all to become a part of this solutionary community so we can condense all of what I learned in these 8 years and you can get it faster. That's the reason why we tap into the show Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. to package it in a way so it's palpable. Because some of y'all get, before I explain it, y'all are thinking it. Y'all may not be able to put it into words, but I can put it into words and tie things together. That's my skill set, translation. So I can show you Steven Crowder contradicting himself, being a fucking attention whore. You wasn't doing none of that college school shit until 2 weeks after fucking you stopped. But then as soon as motherfucking what's the name get murdered, chance. First thing you do, go try to run it up by fighting Americans starting with the black community. Shut the fuck up. I can explain that in a way that some people may just be thinking it or feeling it and not have the ability to articulate it the same, and then that strengthens your talking points. That's what our solutionary community does. I'm in the joint. I might be down sometimes, and the guys in the solution, I'd be like, yeah, that's cool, but let's go ahead and get that set. I want y'all to get this transformative information, but you got to act your way, meaning like do things into this new mindset. You can't just think your way into a new mindset. That's not how it goes. You have this feeling, intuition. You link with, you start attracting certain shit But then you got to act on what you're attracted to. There's a reason why 300 and some odd of y'all are watching right now. And I don't give a fuck that it's not 30,000, 300,000. I don't care. As with everything else, like in Ray Dalio's book, it starts like this. It grows. The same thing happened to me with BGM. First few classes was like this. Then we grew and we was on the cover of magazines. I've been on the cover of Time magazine. I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping about only having 300-400 people. I love that it's 300-400 people. I want y'all to get into Solutionary University. I want y'all to take this information and get even better and more powerful. I want y'all to get in shape. Show of hands in the chat. How many people in here track their macros today? I did. I know exactly how much water, coffee, sugar, vitamins, and protein I had today. How many people in here? I'm doing a calisthenic workout for the whole month of October. I've done 556 squats and 556 push-ups today. After the show, I'm going to do 556 calf raises today. I want you guys to get this information, help other people while you do it, and be able to push back. These fucking pundits, that is your macros, Harlot. Protein, carbs, and fat, that's your macros. Good that you track them too. Let me be clear on that part. What I'm saying to y'all is this. This is empowering information. We got to push back against this pundit class, this political class, and this just fucking extreme end, just loud and speaking as if they right. And they're not. They don't speak for most people. They're just louder than most people. We have to get louder, but we got to be precise. We got to be on point. That's what Solutionary University represents. Thanks for that $5, Dre. He says, Kendrick won his case and Candace dropped her receipts. I passed my finals for my current class. It's been a good week. That's a solutionary week right there. 1,000%. Marcus with another $5 joint. Appreciate you for that, Marcus. Guys, this is what I'm going to ask everybody to do. Go to givesendgo.com/solutionary. We got 21 days left. The classes will be I'm going to say the classes will continue because we're going to hit our goal. We need 443 more $100 donors. Let's get 40 $100 donors tonight. It's 360 of y'all watching. 40 people donate $100, get access to Solutionary University. Macros, meal plans, workout routines, transformative information to empower yourself and our communities. You speak better. You shoot better. You're in better shape. That's the trifecta. You communicate better. You learn skills and trades. We empower through action. And we want everybody to do it. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Every donor at the $100 level gets that. Access like forever with all of the classes. They're yours. I mean, the classes that are there, as well as if you can give it to anybody that gives over $20 or more, I'm going to give you a class. I'll have your email as soon as you donate, and I'll make sure that you have a class. I'll just email you guys and say, hey, what class you want? Okay? And then you'll say, hey, I want this class, and I'll make sure that you get it. We want you guys to get things for helping us support our work. We got 21 days left to hit our number. We're going to be fundraising the whole weekend. Guys, don't say you're just going to do it later. Go over to givesendgo.com/solutionary. You watching on X is my pinned post. Just hit that link up there. If you're watching on any other platform, it's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. givesendgo.com/solutionary. I want you guys in Solutionary University. I want you guys getting informed, and I want us to empower ourselves. Watch out for the bullshit extremist pundit class on the right and the left. They are all wrong, most of them, the vast majority of them. If they're not nuanced, if they're not balanced, if they're not doing all of those things, they are wrong, and they are not solutionary. Thanks, you guys, for tapping in. I will see you guys on Monday. Outside of the people that I'm going to engage right now, shoot me a DM, shoot me an email. I got my other phone somewhere else. But nonetheless, shoot me an email, maj2ray@solutionaryuniversity.org if you want to chop it up about something, anything. It can be the classes, it can be the university, or it could just be something that you're going on in life. I'm going to commit to the next 2 hours and shoot me an email, shoot me a DM. Support the work. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. I will see you all. I will engage you all for the next 2 hours, so until about 11:30, because I get up at 3:30. Okay? Appreciate that, True Hype. $20. Just because. Appreciate you, True Hype. Michael Voss. Hey, what's up, Mike? How you? Says, have a great night. Appreciate you. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Appreciate y'all all. I'll engage everybody that hops in my DMs right now on whatever platform or shoots me an email. But please, guys, let's get 40 people to donate $100. It's Friday. Y'all got paid. Invest in yourself. Use the classes for your entire family. They're videos that you have access to forever. You get a login. Let's get 40 people to donate at GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Give $100, give $20. You're going to get something for everything in between. Some of y'all rich, give $1,000. It'll help out a whole lot. I see you guys on Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Be safe. Be solution.